Hello everyone and welcome back. I thought I'd do a voiceover of this one because I haven't done any talking on a video for quite a while now. So this is part 4 of my sea animal sketchbook. So before I start, I wanted to try and show you a little bit more of these paints up close. I've had loads of questions on my other videos about how I get them to look the way they do. It's kind of hard to describe, but I'm not doing anything special. This is what the colours look like on some high quality watercolour paper. You can see that this is where they sort of separate out into two different colours, and one of the colours seems to move around a lot more than the others. This is what the paint looks like if you leave it for a while. It kind of separates out into the two colours in a little pot. So if you leave them in water for a while and you're very delicate, you can actually sort of paint with the two different colours. I don't really do this, I kind of just go for it, but it does give you a little bit more control. So see, if you mix it all up, you get more of the heavy colour. There seems to be like two colours inside, there's a heavy one and a light one. And all of the colours in this set do something similar to that. So I like to just sort of go for it and see how they turn out, especially when I'm painting these little animals, because I think it makes them look a bit more natural. But you definitely can get quite a bit of control with them. So these are the Kuretake Granulating colours. I've done a few videos on them and I'll link them down below, but basically it's one colour. It comes in a little pan, but when you add lots of water to it they separate out into two colours, but obviously those colours sort of mix together, so you get all these really interesting patterns and gradients. The colour I'm using for today's part of the sketchbook is Arara Blue, which looks like a blue paint with sort of an orange, like a neon orange mixed in. I think out of all of the sections I've painted so far, I found this one to be the most difficult. It took me quite a while, and I'm not sure if it was because the paints are slightly different to the others or if it was just me, but I did find this bit a little bit more tricky than the others, and I'm not too sure why. So I just start off with sort of a light wash, and I'm going to build up my colours over time. This is how I like to work with normal watercolours, and I think it works pretty well with these ones too. So the paper I'm using for this is a Seawhite Concertina sketchbook. It's one of the ones that folds out into one big long sheet of paper. I do like the sketchbook, but I wouldn't recommend it for these paints. The paper's more of like a drawing paper and it's not great for watercolour. You do get some cool effects using these paints on it, but it's also quite delicate and I've ripped the paper in a few places. You can't really see that in the final piece, but it is a little bit annoying, so I think if you wanted to paint something similar to this, I would definitely get a watercolour version of this sketchbook. I didn't know when I started these paintings that I was going to continue it as far as I did. So that's why I chose this sketchbook. I just bought it at the time and I was kind of just playing around. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who's left really nice comments on my other videos. Like I say, this is part 4 and I didn't expect this series of videos to do as well as they have, so I really appreciate all the nice comments and everything you've left on the videos, and thanks to all the people who've liked and subscribed as well. It's really done a lot to help me on the channel and help me to keep going and doing what I do. So I thought I would mention it so you can kind of learn from my mistakes, but for the whale shark I tried using masking fluid for the spots, and this was a really bad idea. I use masking fluid a lot. It doesn't really scare me, but it's not very good for this paper. I think it's just a bit too heavy duty and it ended up ripping the paper in quite a few places. I'm filming it here so you can see what I was doing, but I ended up painting over all the spots and just adding them back in with gouache. It didn't look quite how I wanted it to, but at least I managed to somewhat fix it towards the end. Like I say, it doesn't really bother me because these are more just for fun and in this sketchbook, but I wouldn't want to think I'd done it on a final piece. I'd be pretty upset about that, so I'm just going to mention it here. The paints do work well with masking fluid, it's just this paper in this sketchbook, it's a bit too thin. So yeah, I wish I kind of just painted him and then added the spots in later. It would have saved me a lot of time. So the sea animals in this section are a triggerfish, a cuttlefish, I think it's a spotted stingray, a ghost shark, a whale shark, a swordfish, and a scallop. This is where I was trying to fix the spots on the whale shark. I really didn't want to work over the top of these paintings, but I kind of just thought it's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. So I used some acrylic gouache and a coloured pencil just to sort of throw the spots in. I was a bit annoyed at the time, but it doesn't look too bad. I'm sure I can play around with it digitally and clean it up. So, I just wanted to mention as well at this point, there's only enough space in the book for one more section of these sea animals, and I've also only got one more colour of these granulating paints left. So if there's any sea animals that you really like that I haven't painted so far in the series, please suggest them down below. I've been trying to do as many as I can, or at least something similar to what everybody's been suggesting. I know I'm definitely doing a manta ray, and I've had a couple of suggestions as well, so I will try to squeeze a few in. So I'll show you the final results. Even though I had a lot of trouble painting the whale shark, I'm still very happy with how this section turned out. I did find it a bit more difficult than my other sections I've done. I'm not sure if it's just because the colour was messing with my eyes, but in the end I don't think it looks too bad. I hope you found the video useful. If you'd like to, please like and subscribe, it really helps me out, and I'm very appreciative for all the comments and everything I've been getting on these videos. But until then, I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.